Almighty 105.1, serving the PD, Florence, Marion, Mullins, and Nichols. I am a program director here at the Almighty Network. We play contemporary gospel, traditional gospel, choral music, because we have a lot of churches in the area. And we do play quartet because quartet has a stronghold in this community.
Oh, yes, I get one with. Oh, yes, I get one with. Oh, yes, I had a with.
Quartet, 4 parts of tenor 1, tenor 2, baritone, and bass. That's quartet. But now you have those vocal parts. Also see, and you have the leader, but you may see somebody standing over on the side because it may not be their turn to sing that part, but then they'll move one out, come back in. So it's always those 4 parts that are being sung technically, musically. But when it comes to what quartet is to the soul, quartet is rooted. It's deeply rooted in the South. Some people call it back home music. It's really strongly traditional. And quartet is family as well. Children, parents, they were singing in the home, just having service in the home, and it branches out into the community.
Oh, yes, I. One guy made the way. Trying to pray. When I was home.
The Association of Brown Brothers was together back in 1961. And we've been traveling across the country ever since, non-stop. We actually started with 9 blood brothers, born by one man and one woman. 9 blood brothers. And we went from that to where we are today. Our singing family, my mother and father sung. And believe it or not, we have 4 sisters. They also are talented. My dad was a farmer. Tobacco, corn, cotton, and soybean. My dad sang quartet, and my mama could sing you. Oh my God, you could stand there, and my mama used to sing, and you end up crying just to hear her sing. In the cotton field, my mom would hit a song, we all join in and sing. She'd sing one of them songs, boy, and we'd join in. After a while, everybody joined in, the whole crew. 10 of us in the field. Yep, she'd start singing and we'd follow behind. Whenever company would come over to the house in Effingham, South Carolina, where we reside at now, every time the elder person would come up, we would have to gather up on the front porch and do some sort of duet or whatever to satisfy the family. That was a must back then, wasn't by choice in a way. Every thing they do in the church, if you're singing on it, we had to sing. We had to do it. Ain't no staying home. You go to church and you sing. If you don't, you know what's gonna happen when you get back home. We migrated up to the Washington, D.C. area, where we started Sensational Brown Brothers group. After a few years of singing with another group, we sung extensively weekend, all during the week sometimes, in different churches, and we had an opportunity to record an LP. The LP actually did pretty good for us in the D.C., Maryland, and Virginia area. And then we got signed with Malaco Records in Jackson, Mississippi. That was headed up by the Jackson Southernaires, Frank Williams and the Jackson Southernaires. That led us to a lot of moving. A lot of moving.
According to how you travel, if you're traveling by bus, it would be a lot of attention focused on you if you went through a particular town. You know, you just had to be really careful as to what and where you went. During that time, the different water fountains, the colored and the white water fountain, same thing with the restroom facilities. So it would have been a challenge, but the joy in it is whenever you reached where you were going, you were able to rejoice and do the job that God had placed there for you. So there was also, you know, you were able to maintain your mission because you know God was right there for you. He sent you there and he was going to get you there.
All 9 of us traveled the road. Our brothers, we never had a problem with one another. And that was kind of unusual to see, I thought. Some of you just got 2 brothers that can't get along. One thing about it, we listen at. My older brothers, whatever they say, we listen. You know, and that's the way it went. You know, be obedient. What they say, obedient.
Save my soul one day. Oh, save my soul. Save my soul. We used to ride in a van, pulling the trailer. We used to drive the big Ford van. Drove for years. When you stopped driving, it had over 300,000 miles on it.
And I will say that we were blessed. Never had an accident over the 63 years we traveled across the road. Never an accident.
That's just how good God has been to the sensational Brown Brothers.
Sometimes you couldn't get a hotel downtown. You had to stay out on the outskirts, you know. But we always, somehow or another, God always made a way for us.
Certain parts of the South, Alabama, Mississippi, back in the day, there was a few diversities where we had problems with traveling during the night versus day, gasoline and these kind of things. But basically, we really had a good experience. We did good over the years. I really can't complain about a whole lot of the, you know, things that we hear that happened over the years, but there were some. But I don't count it as a loss. It was a gain, you know.
You're listening to the Almighty Network, Almighty 105.1. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jasilia. I would say in our region here in the PD, Quartet has always had a stronghold in this community, and it still does. It still does. People love Quartet music.
You name it, we have been on the show, on the gospel field with all the major groups. Jamaica Cloud, Joy, Shirley Caesar, Aretha Franklin, you name it, we've been there on all of this show. And the experiences were great. But we always look at what my mom and dad say. Do what the Lord said do. He said, well, we think about the money, but they said, it ain't all the time the money. It's your soul that you looking at.
At first, it was like we thought of it as fame, but as we moved on and began to realize the real significance of what we were doing, we realized that what we were doing had to be a real ministry, because we saw the need for that as we moved around the country, seeing how things was kind of distorted as far as mankind conducting themselves from one person to another. And we saw the need to get serious about our ministry because it was necessary. And then reading the Bible and listening at other people talk, we found out that that was the key to success. And we at the point now that actually the singing and the traveling now, I feel like it's behind us. So we in the position now where we're trying to train some younger people to take over the legacy and just carry it on. They say they want to do it, so we give them the opportunity to go with it. As we move around now, we put them out front and we encourage them to do what they need to do and try to help us save some souls.
But the brothers, the Lord has been on our side. I trust him right now. Can't make me doubt him. Know too much about him.
Everybody.